Well, hello. Well, I was going to start in here because I wanted to let you know about a problem that is common. I don't want to discourage people from growing indoors. I know it's loud in here. I'm trying to compete with a bunch of fans and stuff. But I think it's important for me to show you where my problems have been and how I fixed them so that I have success. I started with this one because I have a friend who is trying to bring her tomatoes in for the season, and every time she plucks off a clip and she puts it in a little bottle. We're going to do that today just to, I know it's a dirty old bottle, but I've already taken a plant out and planted it already. This is my new one. Yeah, I know it's hard to see in here. It's just like a little jungle. But anyways, every time she clips off a piece and brings it in, it rots in the bottle. And I told her that I would show her where to clip it off so that wouldn't happen. Ooh, we're not going to clip that one. I was hoping for one of those. I'm just kind of tidying this up while we're in here. It's hard for me to get in. I'm trying to widen this out. Ow. Yep, I cut myself, I think. That's okay. You want to always make sure that you're not going to clip off the tip of your vine. I'm just cutting this off so nothing comes in and tries to eat it. I don't need a little mite problem. And while I'm in here checking everything out, I'm going to end up cutting. Did I make myself bleed? No. Okay. I'm going to end up cutting a new vine to root. So let me show you. See, this here is all new growth. Oh, I want to be careful with it. They're more tender indoors than they are outdoors. Okay, see, now this is my newest vine. My plant is like 4 years old. So I'm looking for any suckers. Oh, it doesn't really have any. All right. Okay, here's what I call a sucker. Okay, I don't want to hurt my little tomatoes here. But see how it's conjoined there? We're going to cut it there. Okay, can you see that in the frame? Doggone it. Yeah, they're either too big for the frame. Alright, so I'm going to end up taking a lot of this off. I just pinch it off. Which is fine because I'll give myself more area for root. And that'll be number one. Okay. Now let's take a second one because I'm not sure that was a really great visual. I had an aeration problem in here, and I wanted to tell you how I solved that as well. I've got lots of fans going on, as I'm sure you can hear. Now this is no good to me anymore. I learned this from my mother, actually, that once it gets damaged at the top of the vine, it will not produce anymore. You have to wait and let it grow again. So we're going to go ahead and take this off. But we're not going to use that to root anything with. Ah, here's a perfect sucker. Alright. Well, maybe that's not such a perfect sucker, but let me see if I can't show you a better view. Very first one, see how, can you see that there? Maybe not. Let me get you in there a little bit better. Do you see how thick that vine is? Yeah, well, it's the best I could do there, sorry. What I'm going to do is cut that back and see. Oh my. Yeah, I mean, it's... Here's it. This is better. Here we go. This will do me much better. Do you see how that vine is just like growing out the side? It's already trying to get itself a new little friend. That's where we're going to cut them. That's where you should always cut them, right at the edge there. And then we're going to strip it down. Believe it or not, that wasn't a good tomato. Oh, so yeah, back to what I was saying. I took you know those little inline fans, I'll show you in a moment, that I got for, it was $6 a piece. Well, I set one in the floor, shooting upwards. I don't want to take off the very tip. Shooting upwards, so it's taking all the air that's swirling around and pushing it right up. You know, hot air rises. Well, all of my plants have been really happy since I did that. So, okay, it's a little dry, but it will be fine. But I'm not going to try to root all of that. But I'm going to go ahead and break it off at a node. Cut it off is better. And we're going to stick it in here. Trying to hurry because this is actually my update on my channel. But I'm only putting out 2 videos a month now, so... Well, you can always fast forward too if you'd like, if this isn't what you were looking for. I just haven't really made an art of growing tomatoes in the house, but I've had it for 4 years, and well, I've gotten to know it pretty well. And let me show you this. See, do you see all those little bumps on it like that? Yeah, well, it tried to root itself way up here. It tried to root itself again, but this is part of my older vine, the original vine. Now I'm going to cut off its dead weight. I'm not going to make it go through the winter with it, and I'm not going to have you sit here with me while I manicure the entire plant. I was just trying to show you where I cut and why. And and we'll cut one more to root, because no, see, that's like spent. We'll wait for it to finish ripening there, and then I'll cut the whole thing off. Because what you really want it to do here, here's another perfect sucker. Twisting and winding around here. Alright, so here we have a complete vine, right? But we have this little fella here going off on his own. Where he's going, no one really knows. But we're going to get him now. So you see where he's hooked up here? That's where we're going to cut him. Let me not cut myself this time. Yeah, that was unpleasant. Alright, freeze my other little plant up here to not be weighted down by that extra weight on it. Oh, yeah, well, I'll come in here and make it all pretty later. I've got many more things to show you. See, it's already putting on new blossoms. So here I have that whole piece I just cut off. And I'm just going to take off the... Ooh, that's going to be a nice, meaty... That's going to be nice. Can you see all that? Okay, yeah, I'm happy about that, actually. Let me cut that right at the node. So I'm just going to fill that up with purified water, and we'll check on that. Oh, probably by the time I do my next upload for a review. And I'm going to cut off a lot of the little dead pieces, but that's not a big deal. What's a big deal is how much roots we should get in here. So you fill it all the way up. Well, I don't want to get all wet right now. So there you have it on that there. And I do have quite a few little tomatoes on here. Oh, here's another sucker. See, this is a really true instance of a sucker. Shoot. Yeah, I need to make sure I got my visuals right. Okay, that's a true sucker right there. See it right there? It's like growing off of nothing. But I'm not going to cut him off right now. I'm going to wait till I come back through, because I've already got 3 plants going. But those are suckers, the ones that like grow out the sides. So that's all I really had here for my tomato plant. And I wouldn't want to discourage anybody, ever. You know, mistakes happen, things happen. I had a problem with my aeration, and then the season changing. But it's one of these fans. I just basically watch what it does to the plant. I just set it at the bottom of the floor underneath all of the plants, and I let it blow up. And see the aeration I get? It's much nicer than the plant when it just normally is just sitting there. I don't know if it's going to make a difference when I put it on the floor here. But I've got like, I don't know, 8 fans in here going. But let's move on. Yeah, it's a little tight in here. But I like to use all the room that I possibly can. I'm going to pull another carrot because I want to have another stir fry. Ugh. And I found that my problem here, and the solution to my problem, was that it needed more water. Ooh! Would you look at that? Oh, yeah, that's not exactly enough for a carrot cake, but oh my gosh, that's impressive. Oh, I'm really impressed by that. So, they say the best thing to do when you pull up a carrot or a radish is to put down more seed. So, we're going to do that real quickly today. Now I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle my carrot. And while I'm here, let me just rake that in a little bit. It'll water in really fine. Whew, hopefully that carrot will be ready for me the next time I want to have something. I like carrot in my stir fry, and I like it in my Chinese soup as well. So, being that my radishes never came up, and I believe that was my fault, because of not enough water. It takes 3 times the water to grow a carrot or a radish than it does anything else. That includes tomatoes, anything else I've ever grown. So we're also going to put in a watermelon in here. And I'm hoping I can keep up with that. It takes about a gallon of water a day. Sometimes not so much. Like today it's pretty warm. Ooh. I thought I saw something moving there that shouldn't. Okay. Yeah, well, that snake is still in here, so I'd just like to know before he surprises me. Anyway, some days it's warmer and it'll evaporate quicker, but some days it's warm and it's really humid, so it won't evaporate as quick. So I just have to keep watch on it and see. It's pretty wet right now. So I'm going to go ahead and put my little radishes down. And they're going to kind of get mixed in there with where I'm going to put in my watermelon, but that's okay because the watermelon's going to mostly grow up. And we're going to grow it up. Instead of letting it grow this way, we're going to let it grow this way. I got to put a bolt in the ceiling so that it can hold the weight. But that'll give me better, with the lighting and everything, I'll get more out of my space that way. And I'm very hopeful. And my poor mother, she has bought me like I don't know, 5 seed packets. Oh no. Okay, this is Sugar Baby. Yeah, I wouldn't want to try to grow a big Bertha in here. Oh no. So I'm going to go ahead and drop a few. I've always been kind of hopeful and just put in 1 or 2. Yeah, that didn't really work for me. So I'm just going to drop them in here. Say good night. Sleep tight and don't let any of the bugs bite. And let's give it a little bit of water. Just a little bit. I'm only, because it's already pretty wet, the soil. And I'm just not looking to drown everything. Just looking to water it in. And I like to do this before the lights come on, because as you could see, different times I've been in a hurry and I've come in and I've dumped water on this and the lights had been on, or they came on and it burnt some of my foliage. I have one of those little carrots I'm going to try and see if I can make go into seed, but I'm still pretty doggone impressed by this. Yeah, you can do this in the house. And can I talk to you for a moment here? You can fast forward if you like to the next scene. But the whole reason for me, the passion that I have in everything for trying to show you that it can be done, is because, and you may know someone in your life like this, there's times where things happen in our life, whether our children move out and we have empty nest syndrome, we lose someone very close to us, we get a bad diagnosis we have to deal with, and we're a little sick for a while and we can't really get out and do the things we did before, or there's an injury, or suddenly your back doesn't work like it used to. I'm telling you, the mere times I come in here into a room where my children, I have 2 rooms that I had nothing, really going on in there, and I hated going in there. And it was eating me alive, because I did have empty nest syndrome really bad. And when I started moving plants in here, and I come in here, there's something waiting for me, that's showing me its progress, its growth. Maybe it's got a problem it needs some help with, it needs some nutrition, it needs a drink of water, and it fulfills many of those needs. I have people in my life that can't get outside and work in their gardens anymore. But to have a little light in the house, you can start with a 10-watt full spectrum bulb. You can get from Walmart or Amazon. Sometimes you can get 2 of them for $20, but they're usually about $19.98 or so. And I'm not selling them. That's just the best thing. That's how I started growing my tomato plant. I had 2 tomato plants growing under a 100-watt bulb. Basically, I don't have it in here anymore. Those drop lights that you put underneath your hood so you can see what you're doing under there? I had it in there. And I had grown 2 tomato plants to about 2 feet high, and they were already getting tomatoes on them before I was starting to concern myself with the side coverage, hence the mylar, So, if you have a mother-in-law or a grandmother-in-law, even a grandfather or a father, some men like to dabble with plants too. It brings them a joy, kind of like if you've got them a dog or a cat or a bird or a snake, a lizard, whatever does it for them, something they can hug and hold. Look, I've actually seen people, now I've got to be careful here, that one lady was self-harming to get attention from her family, and the family wasn't really seeing it. I would think seeing anyone excited in an emergency room for a visit with their family would be a red flag right there. That and the broken ribs and stuff. Really, I don't want to say horrible things to make people feel unpleasant, but maybe you have someone in your life that's suffering from, some form of depression or just a feeling of loss in their life. And having these plants can really make a difference in their life. It has just done leaps and bounds for me, because let me tell you something, not only did I have that to deal with, but when COVID hit, that was even harder. But I had my little friends in here, I had my little family in here, and I just wanted to kind of hit that with you a little harder, because, you know, I'm starting to break away from doing so much of my content here on my garden. You know, I'll always show it to you once a month, but, you know, I'm going in a different direction. But this garden will always be here, and I will always update you on it every month. But I'm not sure I'll always remember to try and tell you what the whole passion behind this is, because it makes me happy. And my dog also helps a great deal, but this makes me happy. Yep, and this all started with a tomato seed from a tomato from my local grocery store. And it has just grown and grown and grown. What I have to say that you can see from here, well, you really can't see everything from here, can you? But you can see that Alvin is much happier being all stretched out like that. Can you see him well? Well, let's go see him. Well, he barely fits in that frame, doesn't he? He's quite stupendous over there. I really think he's wonderful. And he's really being able to stretch out. I like him in this little pot. I need a couple more of these, actually. And I'll show you another pot that I use. They're very lightweight, and the plant can really spread out in there. I just have to put something around him in there, but look at how well. See, well, he's a little low there. I just love the way that he crowns on the top there, just like the spider plant over here. I'll show you. Yeah, I'd probably do better if I had my little handheld camera. I'll go get it. But do you see how well that cascades over? This one's my taller one. But this spider plant, I was going to tell you, this is the one I got from my daughter-in-law that was so close to the ceiling it couldn't grow up anymore. So I let it just stay the way it was, kind of wilty, to see if it would pop back, and it is popping back. And it is so cute. You need to get a better look at him. Because look at how much he has really grown, and the little babies that he's putting out. I think that looks just like regal. Is that the right word? And those little pillars, I just love those. I need a couple of more, and I think that I could put a few more of the plants in there. Now, a lot of these plants I've repotted, just because it's easier to take care of a bigger pot than it is like a bunch of little 4-inch pots. But let me go get my other camera and we'll take a closer look. Gosh, I almost believe you get a better picture of Alvin this way. I just love him in that pot. Now, I'm going to probably have to put him in a taller pot, because he gets to be weeping so low sometimes that robot vacuum gets a hold of him. This is my Swiss cheese monstera. Remember, I topped it. I'll show you. It's the ones I took off of it in a minute. But this was one new leaf it put out. This is the second. So yeah, he just keeps oh my gosh. Yeah, he just keeps going. And let's see what the ones look like I took off of him. This was the top. Isn't this the very top? Yep. This is the very top that I cut off. No, these are the ones I took from, I'm sorry, my daughter-in-law and daughter. Watch. Ooh, that's impressive. And it's already putting on a new leaf in there. Very impressive. And my cuts, yeah, doesn't look like any of them went wrong. Oh, how nice. There's a new leaf starting there. You know, I can't give one theirs without giving the other one theirs. And oh, this one isn't rooting as well. Oh, it's starting to. Good, 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 good. Oh, good, 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 good. Well, yeah, I'm really happy about that. Let's look at the big one. He didn't lose any of his leaf. Let's see what kind of roots he's got going on here. Oh my goodness, I need to get another pot so I can put him in properly. He needs a... Whew, look at that. Yeah, that's impressive. So what has it been, a month? Not bad at all. Oh, this is a wonderful experiment. So yeah, we're gonna set him up for success this time. And I told you why there's these holes in the leaves like this. It's because in the wild, they grow up a tree. And in order for the leaves behind them to get any sunshine, it can peek through the little holes. And some of this I'm just going to kind of glaze over because it hasn't really changed or done anything remarkable yet. My mother's pink princess is starting to vine down, which is different. I don't know if it's supposed to do that or not. And Christopher, he just keeps going and going. And oh, my spider plant, all of them are so happy that I found their little issues that they had and fixed them. So yeah, they're all doing really well. I brought the bromeliad out. And oh, look at here, the flamingo. Now she's starting to put out for me. Woo! Oh, don't get it caught up here. Yeah, you don't wait forever for these blooms and then mess them up. So she's my Thanksgiving cactus. Now back there, yeah, I have my green onions, and I added, oh yeah, I brought out my scarlet necklace. I brought out a few of my succulents out here, and of course that cosmic cactus. It's still continuing to grow. Let me get that. See, it's getting, oops, all the ones on the sides. This is what I just put in not too long ago. I want to see if it's actually going to root, so I can just come out here and get tender celery every time I want to have a stir fry, like tonight with my carrot. Oh yeah, I'm real excited about that. But yeah, there's not a lot of change. Now this one, oops, sorry. Everyone keeps asking me about my anthurium. I'm trying to not step on my plants here for a minute. Okay, on my anthurium, you know, I find they do well. So I think I'm getting another leaf there. Is that a new leaf? Or is that an old one? And some new blooms. About every 2 weeks is all I water them, and they seem to do just fine. I did combine over here. This was my creeping Charlie, and it gives me a lot of really pretty, oh I love this plant, leaf coverage, but I didn't have anything up here, so I took one of my calancho and just put it up here to keep him company a little bit. So he should have some nice color up here, you know, during the Christmas holidays. And my fairy garden is doing well. Oh, that's right, it's not my fairy garden, it's my field of artichokes. So it's still doing well. And that calancho's starting to get some growth. Yeah, some of it, you know, if it can't stand on its own, I really don't know what to say for it, but the little air fern is doing good. So I'm pretty happy with this. I'm gonna move it into my other room though. I think it'll have more room in there and get better light. I think it might need just a tad bit more light than it gets in here. And this geranium here, this isn't marked. This is the one I got from my mother. And I need to ask her if it's a vining geranium because it's acting like one. See? Instead of growing up, it keeps trying to grow out. I'm not sure, but it looks pretty healthy and happy there. These are the tomato cuttings I just took out of that other room. And this one, well, he looks a little sad because I needed to give him some more water, but in his self-watering pot, whew, he's already sucked it up. I need to give him some more. Well, I love that because I didn't overwater him. And he's got a lot of new little, I call them prawns, coming on. But I need to give him some more water. Woo! He drank up a whole thing of water just since this morning. This is my bird's nest fern, another plant that I really love. It gets hard to see, I know. But see how tall? This is my jungle flower vine. See how tall it's getting? I would love for it to finally bloom, you know, because it only blooms once a year for like 45 minutes. It opens up for 45 minutes. It does something magical on the inside with its little pistils or whatever's inside, and then it closes up till the next year. But really, really happy with this one. And Michael, oh look, I'm really happy to see this. Some new growth. Oh yeah, because this is my Christmas tree this year. And I cleaned him up down here. I don't think he was getting enough water, I guess. You know, because he was so dry. And he needs to move from here. I need my plants to be able to spread out a little bit more because, well, I never seem to stop bringing home new babies. This here, I should have never put these in here. They're just all those kalanchoe I was propagating because I think they're the reason why my canna didn't really take off in here. It just probably didn't get the light that it needed, or I'm not sure, but I'm removing all those from here. I'm going to keep the English ivy, but you can see that it kind of seemed to be bothered by it too. It's getting some new growth, but it was stunted, and I really think it either didn't have good aeration with all that in there like that. It might have smothered it, or maybe it just got too crowded. And these mamba jambas over here, I got these from that little succulent club, and look how big this guy got. I had to repot him into this pot. I just did that. This is that pig's ear. I'm gonna have to get it a bigger pot. I think he's cute. I like him. But oops, I brought him out here. See if he'd be happier out here with the big boys. And this one here, I don't know what it is. It was in my fairy garden and it was dying. And I put it in soil and it just seems to be so happy. So yeah, I brought them out here. And this one really needs a home still. How tall is it? Oh well, it's getting there. It's getting there. I guess I'm just going to end up with 2 of these. I might just stick these in one of those pillars I have, you know, like that one there, so it can maybe do its thing. And Mark is just kind of doing his thing. He hangs out in here with the bigger boys, but he's having a hard time rebounding. He's had a hard time since I brought him home, so I'm really hopeful for him. He's in here in my hospital room. This is what's left of my other hospital area I've had for a while. I went ahead and combined 2 of my kalanchoe together in a bigger pot. See, these were both in 4-inch pots. Oh my gosh. See, he's done very much better since he's been in here, and now he's big. So, yeah, I think he's going to do much better in here. But until he gets better, he's just got to stay in here. And my lipos. Oh, I just love these little things. I really do. I find them to be so interesting. And this, I took one of the other succulents that I put in the bigger room, one of the bigger succulents out, and kind of spaced them out a little bit more. But these were all the ones that were in my fairy garden that were dying. So they all rebounded well. This one, well, yep, we're just going to go ahead and stick her over here. Yep, that can grow like that. Right now, though, I don't want her to get real wet because the ground is wet there. And when it dries, I want her to dry out. And then she'll just root and make a new plant for me there. Another one I find to be interesting is this one. I don't know, it just reminds me of something out of Dr. Seuss. So, you know, that's all I really had for you today. I just really wanted to, again, you know, say something about anyone in your life that, you know, seems to be missing something. That, whether it's a person or whether it's just life changes and they're not able to do the things that they used to do. It's just better for your mental health to have something to look forward to. Something to nurture, something to take care of. Anyway, I just really wanted to share that with you, and also to remind you that the climate is changing. I don't really want to argue that or anything, but it is. And I've lost a lot of my plants outside to the weather and to storms and dogs and cats and chickens. Yep, I lost my watermelon crop one year to chickens. Anyway, it helps to have something inside to fall back on, and to get an early start on, and to have something to carry you through the winter as well. I get to have carrots and tomatoes and hopefully radishes and watermelon here, you know, going in through the winter. I'll talk to you more about that, because I'm going to talk to you some more about the using solar panels actually to let all this pay for itself. I can't do this at this time. I just don't have the proper sun for it, but a lot of you do. And you can let it pay for itself. I will talk to you guys later. You guys have a lovely day, and I will as well. Bye.